Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Thursday. It's the 10th of November today, and CPI drop day. So also the jobless numbers, the US jobless numbers, and US consumer price index. All those numbers dropped today, and what an impact they had. So the numbers were better than expected. Well, I'll say there's more people unemployed than was expected, so I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but the market certainly thought it was good. The CPI numbers were lower than expected, so that's a good thing as well. And the markets rallied, and I say the markets rallied huge amounts. So as I'm sitting here right now, the Nasdaq's up more than 7.5%. So it's 7%, 7.7%. So it was more than 7.5%. The S&P 500 is more than 5.5%, so 5.7%. The Russell index, the small cap index, is 6.4%. And of course, you've got the Dow Jones Industrial, which is today is the red-headed stepchild in the corner. It didn't quite have as good a day as the other indexes, but 3.9% up today. So very bullish action across the markets today. A lot of stocks moved, and of course, when the markets are up 5, 6, 7%. A lot of the stocks that make up those markets and make up those indices, because the indices are a derivative of the instruments that make them up. And a lot of the stocks that make up those markets are also up, not just 5, 6, 7%, but a lot more. And today was no different. So the funny thing is, the stocks moved up huge amounts, and I was losing money. Go figure. I was going short as the stocks were going long, and therein lies the big problem. I tried to trade Meta. I went long on Meta to start off with, and I thought it was reversing, so I exited the position for a small loss. Then I went to short it, and it rallied. When I thought it was plateauing, I thought, okay, it's pulling back, so I shorted again. And I did that 3 or 4 times. I ended up losing over $6,000 on Meta. Actually, $7,000 if you include both ways. So not a great start with Meta. VERU dropped. So VERU halted trading pre-market yesterday pending news, and the news came back. The FDA had voted unanimously against their product, and as a result, VERU lost 65% of its value. It was pre-market yesterday. It started trading, so over 24 hours, it lost. Market resumed 65% down. I understand the loss in value and the perceived loss in value on that, but I thought that was an overreaction. I was right. It was an overreaction. I was expecting a bounce, and we got the bounce. And guess what? I lost on that as well. I ended up just under $3,000 down on that. I was over $3,000 down on VERU at one stage. We traded that to the long side, and we were doing well. We were up, reasonable amounts, and then we just got greedy. And when it reversed on us, we ended up losing, I say, just under $3,000. We did trade SunPower, so we made almost $2,000 on SunPower. But the big stock for me, and this is, I'll show you on the 5-minute, because it was the 5-minute chart that I saw the signals. The big stock for me was EBIX, and EBIX Inc. is the company, EBIX is the ticker. And that rallied up. It moved up huge amounts on the day. It was about 150% up at one stage on the day. So huge amounts, and very bullish, in line with the majority of the rest of the market action. And I saw, well, I actually called out in Day Trade with Tony Discord that it was very extended. It was due a pullback. So I saw the pullback, and then it made another little pop up, and then pull back again, and we got what I like to call, so this is a double top, but it's the 2 wicks up. So some people call it a bunny ears. I like to call it the devil horns. The reason I call it the devil horns, it's a bearish signal. It's a sign of reversal, and I saw that on the 5-minute chart, and I'll show you that in a moment. And I thought, okay, I might get a couple of $1,000 or $500 or whatever. I might get a little bit back on where I was. I was about $6,000 down at this stage. maybe a little over $6,000. So I went short on EBIX and for 5,000 shares, and it sold off, and it continued selling off, and I increased my size, and it continued selling off. I took some profits as it got to the VWAP. I was expecting a bounce at the VWAP. No, it actually broke the VWAP, and it broke with volatility. So I rode it all the way down, took some profits off. So between kind of 5,000 and 7,500 shares, all the way down, and EBIX went from a high over $30 all the way down to below $22. So I was able to make $18,000 shorting that on that one move back today. So it only takes one stock. It only takes one stock. I was getting very despondent today. I was emotionally invested in the market today because the market was rallying. So I was going long on stocks, and it wasn't going for me. VERU, Meta, and yet the market was up so much, and I was like, how can I be losing in a market like this? It's such a bullish market. And I took the dog for a walk. I was in a losing position, took the dog for a walk, and I was thinking about it whilst I was walking the dog. And I was thinking, you know what? I've got to take Friday off. I've not been trading brilliantly since I got back from my vacation in September. So the whole of October, it was very choppy, and I didn't trade the best. And I've started this November off very similar. I've not been trading the best in November. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a step back. I have been being a bit more aggressive. Maybe that's the reason, maybe not. There's a number of different reasons. And I will be reviewing over the weekend exactly what I've been doing wrong, because I've not been trading very well in November. I've been just about getting by. We were just over, just treading water, if you will, just over the surface, keeping our head above water up until today. We were barely break even before yesterday. We managed to finish $5,000 green yesterday, $5,500. So it was a day of over goal. And then today we managed double goal today as a result of trading EBIX. So let's have a look at the action, shall we? So EBIX, I'll come back to that in just a moment. But let's just look at the action here on EBIX. So, but I'll come back to that in a second. So we at first we traded Meta. So the first trade we took was Meta, and it was on this move up, and we got on here. So CPI numbers dropped the 8:30 market time, and we got this huge volatile move up. And I tried to chase some of the momentum, and in hindsight, I probably should have just bought and hold into the open and just wait for the bounce, because it quite categorically did bounce. And wow, did that move up. I mean, if you look at this all the way up into the close, it just never looked back. And the markets themselves were very similar. So I traded this, as it moved up, it pulled back, and I got out. And it was only a small loss. It was like $500. So I got out. It did pull back at the open, so I tried to trade it short at the open. As it broke the VWAP, I got in. Then it bounced and rallied, and I lost money. So it moved up. It then, as it came back down again, I tried again, and it moved up. So I went short there. I was short here. I went short there, and both times just before it rallied. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to try it again next time we get a significant break of lows. And we got in here, and I was actually making money back here, and then it rallied, and I lost money again. So $6,000 down, $6,500 down short on Meta, another $400 down long on Meta, so $7,000 lost on Meta. That was whichever way I went with it. And in hindsight, I can look at Meta now, and it's obvious to me on certainly on the 5 minute, looking at that chart, that it's bullish, and it's definitely going to be going to the upside. I mean, we've even got the nice little W formation there, which is very bullish formation. W on the VWAP, and the move up and continued move up. So I probably could have traded that better if I'd paid a little bit more attention to the larger patterns that were playing out. And of course, the market, I was trying to time it with the market. As the market was pulling back, I was looking at, okay, the market's pulling back, Meta will follow suit, and it was doing, and then the market would rally again. And let's take a quick look at the SPY for clarity. Very similar pattern. So Meta traded very similar to the overall market there. So after Meta, I traded VERU. And VERU, as you can see, it gapped down huge amounts from $15 on Tuesday. It stopped trading yesterday morning, and then it gapped down. So when it resumed this morning, it was under $7. It was $7.50. It went up to. So it resumed at $7, up to $7.50, and then it sold off, and then it was looking for a bounce. So I was looking for that, and I got in this, traded small size to start off with, was profitable, holding it into the open. It pulled back to the VWAP, moved up, and I started to scale in. As it broke the highs here, I started to scale in, and we got in for big size up here, and it reversed, and we ended up losing. I'm kind of thinking, how did that happen? So from here to here it's good $2.50. Well, nearly $2.50. I'm thinking, how have I lost $3,000 on that? It just makes no sense. I was kind of bewildered on that, and I did try and trade this a little bit later as this started to make its move up. It pulled back, and then obviously as we get the move up, we get the pullbacks. I got in for this candle as it started to make a move back up again. Made a little bit back, about $400. And then it just didn't get over the highs. So as it pulled back and then sold off into the close. So there wasn't enough momentum with VERU for me to try and get it back green again. Didn't short it. It was actually on the short sale restrictions list anyway, so it would have been difficult to short. Yeah, that was the story of my VERU trade today. We did trade some power, and we got in on this one on the move up, some power, and we could have traded this even more there. We really should have done, and that would have been a good trade. I mean, that went from kind of 20.40, eyeballing this, up to $23. So a good $2.50 move. 22.90 was a good $2.50 move there, and even if you got in on that pullback here and the move up, it would have been good. It was profitable, but we didn't get the maximum that we potentially could have done out of some power. So if we traded that better, we could have got a lot more out of that. So unfortunately, we left a lot on the table with some power. However, that being said, in the day trade with Tony Discord, Dave called out that EBIX was looking very extended, and it moved up, had its first pullback, and then moved up again. And he's saying, look, it's extended. It looks like it's getting ready for a pullback up here, and this is before the first devil horn had been formed. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, he's probably right. He's probably due a pullback. So if it pulls back, it might then go on for a continuation. So I'm waiting for the continuation. I didn't get in here. As it moved up and then pulled back again. I was waiting for it to break highs, but I didn't get in. And as it pulled back again, it then bounced up, pulled back, and I'm thinking, okay, on the 5 minute, I was watching it on the 1 and the 2 minute, but then I'm looking at the 5 minute as we got to here, and I'm thinking, the devil horns are there. We've got a distinct reversal pattern here. Now it's actually started to reverse. So I was looking for a bear flag, which we got here. Nice little bear flag, the pullback, and then there. That's where I got in. So I got in for 5,000 shares here, just under $28, and was able to ride that all the way down. I added to when we got the additional bear flag here. I added to my position as we moved up, and then I took some profits at the VWAP. And then we broke the VWAP, it just came back down, and we kept on selling. I took some profits off here, so reduced my size, but I was just holding this, and then as we broke down again and broke lows, I added to my position again. It did start to get a bit choppy and consolidate, and then that's where I got out here, and I probably could have held and made a bit more, but I got out here as we got consecutive higher highs on the 5 minutes. So $18,000 up. on EBIX. We gave way too much back on Meta or Facebook, and VERU just didn't work out for us. I really believe that VERU was going to work out for us, but Meta was the big story on the day as far as I was concerned. There was some other big movers, some huge movers today. We had SHFS that moved up. Intraday, we moved up over 100%. MGNI moved up over 100%. So there's some big movers intraday. TGTX, again, decent relative volume as well. So this also moved up huge amounts on the day, good volume. Digital Turbine or apps moved up big today as well. So there was a lot of movement, upwards bullish movement, and it was one of those days that I didn't take advantage of it, and the opportunity was there. Today I should have been making, instead of $10,000, and I'm happy with, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the $10,000. The $10,000 is a good result. It's twice my daily goal. On a day like today, the bullish action that we've seen, not just on the markets, but on the stocks, there was some really good movements. I should have been making probably double, but if not triple that today. It should have been a really, really big day. And you know, I kind of missed the opportunity. But it'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes you're not on point. For whatever reason, you're just not psychologically feeling it. Day trading is like any other profession. If you're not at the races from the off, you're going to miss the moves. If you're not tuned in, you're going to trade it badly. Like I traded Meta badly. I was going short when it clearly was very bullish. I think a lot of people would have made a hell of a lot of money on Facebook and AMD and a lot of the other the other big large cap stocks and mid cap stocks today seem to have a big bullish day. So I'm still happy enough with my day. I'm still happy enough. $10,000 up on the day is not a bad day. $10,000 is twice my daily goal. It looked like I was going to have twice my daily goal to the negative at one stage. So to finish with twice my daily goal on the green is an absolute win. Still not feeling it though. I'm still feeling like I'm trading badly. I've had $15,000 in two trading days, and I'm still feeling like I'm trading badly. So if I can make $15,000 over 2 days and trading badly, I can't wait to start trading properly again and trading well again. So look, it looks like we've got some volatility in the market, whether that's just because of the CPI numbers, whether that's just because of the jobless claims, or just the bullish nature that the market reacted today. I don't know. Let's see tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow. Before I do that, let's find out where we are actually on the month. As I say, I've not been trading the best on the month, and this is what I'm talking about here. So 19,000 up. We're 8 trading days in. So 4 days last week, 4 days this week. We're 8 days into the month, and we've made just under $20,000. So $2,500 a day. It's less than half. 2,400. You know, I'll throw a couple of dollars in there for myself. It's less than half my daily goal on average for November. I'm over my daily goal across the year still, but less than half in November. Now, we had a similar period in October where it went down to the final week, and I had a couple of big days in the final weeks of October. I don't want that to be the case. I want to be over goal. I want the final week to be, you know, eating into the goal for December, so that I can happily take some time off at the end of the year. But I need to sort out my my risk versus reward. So when I'm losing a lot bigger than when I'm winning. My average, if you can see that right here, that my average winning trade is 4,500, and my average losing trade is 6,500. So I'm clearly trading a lot more aggressive both ways than I have been all year. If you just look at what the average gains are for the year, you can see the massive difference that we've got here. So average winning trade of 4,000, average losing trade of 4,000. Actually, it's not overly different for the year. Actually, it's probably much of a muchness. Just okay. So anyway, we look at the risk reward. My selection accuracy is not too bad. It's not far off 2-to-1 there. It's like I said, the risk reward. So I've made $112,000, but I've lost 93,000. So that's a massive difference compared to what I'm doing across the year. But look at my K ratio in terms of risk versus reward. It's 0.26. That's terrible. A good risk versus reward K ratio is 2. So my risk reward needs to be worked on, and maybe I just go back. Maybe tomorrow I trade smaller. And I was going to take tomorrow off and into the weekend. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trade smaller and get back into the zone of trading properly and being patient with the setups and scaling into a position, as opposed to taking a swing at a position right from the off. If I scale in, I'm getting out for minimal losses, as opposed to taking a big size and it doesn't go my way, I'm getting out for a big loss. If I scale in, I can actually maximize my gains as it moves, or I'm getting out for minimal losses or a small profit. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go back to basics and just bring it down a peg or two. I think because I've gone in with a very aggressive attitude, I didn't withdraw my gains from October, so I've got a big account, or relatively speaking, a larger account for November, and I've been taking bigger swings accordingly. And that's not how to protect your income. That's actually how you destroy your account. So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens tomorrow. We'll be back at it 90 minutes before the market opens. I'll be back at it for the last 90 minutes of pre-market trading, streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and TikTok as well. Let's not forget the platform that made me. And that's 8 a.m. market time. That's 1 p.m. in Dublin, where I'm based, or same time in the UK. And we'll be doing that for about 2.5 hours. So the first last 90 minutes of the pre-market, and the first 1 hour of the regular market. So come join me then. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. It's the last trading day of the week. $19,000 on the month. Now, if I'd said I could make $19,000 sitting at home on my own in front of my desk a month a couple of years ago, I'd have been happy with that, because that's essentially what I was earning as a VP in my executive position. So yeah, back at it tomorrow. Come join me then, and we'll scale it back a bit and go back to basics. We'll scale into the winners, and we'll just cut the losers for small losses instead of swinging big from the off. That's going to be the change from tomorrow. Come join me, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy your evening.